What if I told you the most powerful prescription for children with ADHD isn't found in a pharmacy, but in a treehouse, a mud puddle, or a game of chase? We've medicalized behavior to some extent. We've structured childhood down to the minute. But in doing so, we've forgotten the brain's oldest, most natural medicine, play. And here's what we don't realize. Without it, the ADHD brain struggles to wire itself for attention, impulse control, and emotional regulation. I'm Dr. Rege, consultant psychiatrist and educator. Over the last decade, I've trained more than 10,000 clinicians in how the brain, body, and mind connect. And I've seen it again and again. A child or an adolescent bouncing off the walls isn't broken. They're sending us a biological SOS. This environment doesn't work for my brain. Today, I'll show you exactly why. In this episode, we'll cover why evolution hardwired us for play. 2. The two brain networks, DMN and ECN, that govern focus and creativity. 3rd, why ADHD is less about deficit and more about mismatch. 4th, why digital play doesn't count as much. And 5, most importantly, 5 prescriptions for parents, teachers, clinicians, and policymakers to bring real play back. Stay with me until the end. I'll give you 5 practical, science-based strategies you can apply immediately in your living room, in your classroom, or your clinic. So let's start off with why evolution hardwired us for play. Imagine 2 wolf pups. One wrestles its sibling. The other just watches. Which one learns how to handle conflict, manage fear, trust a pack? The wrestler. That's exactly what Panksepp, the neuroscientist who discovered a dedicated play circuit in mammalian brains, showed us. Play is not a luxury, it's a survival system, as ancient and hardwired as circuits for hunger, fear, or rage. It evolved to train the brain in negotiating boundaries, managing impulses, reading social cues, adapting to change. Sound familiar? That's executive function, the very skill set children with ADHD struggle with. Here's the irony. Those circuits don't develop by suppressing play. They develop because of play. Let's now zoom in on the brain. There are 2 big networks that control much of our mental life. The default mode network, responsible for imagination, daydreaming, self-reflection, and the executive control network, ECN, focus, planning, rule following. Healthy brains, or adaptive brains, toggle between the 2 all day long. Creativity leads to focus, to reflection, to planning. Guess what activity wires that switchboard? Play. Free, unstructured play constantly pushes children between DMN and ECN. Daydreaming in pretend play. Switching to rule testing in a game. Back to imagination. That switching is the training. In ADHD, this toggle system is dysregulated. Too much DMN, spacing out, drifting, daydreaming. Too much ECN override, hyperfocus, impulsivity, or crashes. Yes, medications can improve ECN tone for a while. They can improve executive function, but they don't train the flexibility. Play does. And in just a moment, I'll show you why removing play has created a mismatch that fuels ADHD symptoms, and why Finland may hold the clue. This is where we're going to flip the narrative. ADHD, we know, isn't just a broken brain. It's a mismatch between what developing brains need and what we're giving them. We've shortened recess, replaced movement with screens, substituted spontaneous play with structured after-school activities. And then we wonder why kids can't sit still. Look at Finland. Recess approximately every hour. Behavioral issues are lower. Academic outcomes higher. Compare that to high-pressure systems. More stimulant prescriptions, more emotional dysregulation, less effective learning. Because we've ignored the brain's operating system, movement, exploration, and play. The hyperactive child is signaling this environment doesn't work for my brain. This is no different to the adult. Why do we exercise? It's not really about just fitness. It's about play for the adult brain. Now, parents often say, but my kid plays. They're on Minecraft all the time. Here's the problem. Digital play is not equal to embodied play. It doesn't engage the vestibular system, crucial for balance, spatial awareness, emotional regulation. It lacks real-world feedback. the push and pull of rough and tumble. It doesn't require the full prefrontal cortex engagement that builds impulse control. Now, screens aren't evil, but they're not a substitute. At best, a supplement. At worst, a pacifier for unmet needs. So here are 5 practical prescriptions where theory becomes action. First, for parents. Did you know that there is a study that showed daily rough and tumble play, 20 minutes of wrestling, chasing, pillow fights, helped sleep and reduced behavioral dysfunction? Why? Because it boosts dopamine, balances arousal, and helps sleep. We need to allow a little bit of risk for our children. Scraped knees teach a certain amount of resilience. Excessive hypervigilance prevents it. 2, for teachers. Consider a recess every hour. Even 5 minutes resets attention better than pushing through. Gamify learning. Turn lessons into movement challenges. Memory sticks when the body moves. To think is to move. Engage the emotions, because the word emotion comes from emovere, to move out. Third, for clinicians. Prescribe play. Log it in treatment plans. Recommend it to parents. Dosage matters. Consider group play therapy, social learning through mirroring and experimenting. Fourth, for school systems. Outdoor classrooms. Nature reduces attentional fatigue. 30 minutes a week is enough. What about assessment reform? Reward problem solving and cooperation, not just sitting still. You can check out this video that I did on Finland's schooling system where I cover some of these principles here. And fifth, for governments. Consider play infrastructure, parks, safe streets, community centers. Track play hours. Make it a public health key performance indicator. So let me summarize this for you. Here's the takeaway. We're not raising children to obey. We're raising them to adapt, to connect, to thrive, to navigate uncertainty. Play is the original operating system for that. Every cardboard fort, every imaginary friend, every silly chase. It isn't wasted time. It's the brain learning to be human. So if you're a parent wondering how to help, if you're a teacher burning out, if you're a clinician over-relying on medications, if you're a policymaker staring at a youth mental health crisis, start with play. Because a playful brain is a connected brain, and a connected brain reshapes the world. If this video made you think, gave you another perspective, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, share this video with someone raising or teaching a child. For clinicians, if you'd like deeper dives into the neuroscience of child development and ADHD and ASD, join us inside the Academy by Psych Scene, where we explore these topics in detail for mental health professionals. I'm Dr. Rege, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, stay curious and don't stop playing. Bye-bye.